am happy to join you in this initial celebration of March as International Women's Month. According to the Philippine Commission on Women, the theme for the 2013 Women's Month celebration is Kababaihan, Gabay sa Pagtutulak ng Tuwid na Daan. Alam nyo, nagkasakit ako ng katagal-tagal. Kung nakapaligid ka ba naman ng mga kasamahan mo mababa ang IQ, di ka ba magkakasakit? At yung mga walang hiya na yan, binigyan nilang mga sarili nila ng Pasko ng bonus galing sa kaban ng bayan. Hindi galing sa pera nila, galing sa pera ng taong bayan. Ng halagang 2 milyon bawat isa. 2 milyon bawat isang senador. At hindi pera nilang ginamit nila, pera ng taong bayang Pilipino. Pagkatapos ako ngayon ang minumura nila, sabihin lang nila kung anong oras at anong panahon. Pumunta ko kanina sa ospital, maaga pa. Katanggap ko lang ang aking medical results on my smartphone. May sakit daw ako. Habang tumatanda ako, gumaganda daw ako. But don't worry, hindi ako nakakahawa. Kaso lang, hindi na raw ako gagaling. Itong si Joey Concepcion ang hilig-hilig sa negosyo. Pero mahirap intindihin ang negosyo eh. Kaya subukan ko lang sa kakayanan ko. Naturuan sana kayo ng makonting pagsasalita tungkol sa negosyo. Kapag may nakita kang gwapo o maganda sa isang party, kapag nilapitan mo siya at sinabi mong, mayaman ako, pakasalan mo ako, ang tawag doon ay direct marketing. Kapag pinadala mo ang kaibigan mo para sabihin sa kanya na mayaman ka at gusto mo siyang pakasalan, ang tawag doon ay advertising. Kapag nakuha mo ang number niya at tinawagan mo sa telepono kinabukasan para sabing mayaman ka at gusto mo siyang pakasalan, ang tawag doon ay telemarketing. Kapag nilapitan ka ng gwapong lalaki o ang magandang babaeng yon at sinabi sa iyo na mayaman ka, gusto mo ba akong pakasalan? Ang tawag doon ay brand recognition. At kung sinabi ng isang lalaki sa isang babae na mayaman ako, pakasalan mo ako, at sinampal siya ng babae, ang tawag doon ay customer feedback. Pero kung minsan, nakakaroon din tayo ng problema dahil yung ibang mga negosyo, sobrang hilig sa advertising. Halimbawa, may isang toothpaste company, magaling talaga mag-advertise. Nagbibenta sila ng toothpaste na may 24-hour protection, 24 oras. Pero sinasabi nila na ikaw at ako dapat mag-toothbrush 3 times a day. 24-hour protection buong araw at buong gabi. Pero gusto nila mag-toothbrush tayo 3 beses isang araw. Alam ko marami dito naghahanap ng trabaho. Kaya ang gusto nyo madinig sa akin ay, saan kami pwede mag-apply ng trabaho? Meron akong alam sa PLDT, 10,000 per day. Ikaw yung dial tone. din sa DPWH, Department of Public Works and Highways. 10,000 pesos per day din. Ikaw yung speed bump. Meron sa post office, 10,000 per day. Didilaan mo lahat ng stamps. Meron sa MMDA, 10,000 per day. Ikaw yung pink na bakod. Lahat tayo ngayon naghahanap ng mura. Pero may alam ako, baka hindi nyo alam, na mga murang bilihin. May kilala akong nagbibenta ng kotse, mura lang. Kaso ang gulong niya, square. May kilala akong nagbibenta ng swimsuit, mura lang. Kaso, maong. May kilala akong nagbibenta ng bra, mura lang. Kaso, merong long sleeves. May kilala akong nagbibenta ng mountain bike. Kaso sa halagang 1 million pesos. Pero kasama doon ang mountain. May kilala din akong nagbibenta ng sapatos. Mura lang. Kaso, yung takong niya nasa harap. Meron mas mura pa doon. Kaso yung takong niya nasa loob. Joey, I'm now going to carry out your assignment. I am going to speak on 3 topics. The first is the gender gap between the men and the women. The second is the plight of female entrepreneurs. And the third is political dynasties. First, let me talk about the so-called gender gap. Hindi ba dalawang gender? May lalaki, may babae. Kung minsan may pangatlo, yung bakla. Meron akong kalabang bakla ngayon eh. The gender gap. I presume that you have invited me as a lawyer to determine whether the Philippines has complied with the provision for gender equality under both international and Philippine law. Ang ibig sabihin lang naman ng gender equality ay pantay sa tingin ng batas ang lalaki at ang babae dahil wala namang diferensya ang lalaki at ang babae. There is absolutely no difference after decades of study on this matter. Physical strength, mental prowess, and spiritual capacity. Walang kaiba. Meron lang mga malalakas na lalaki, pero meron rin mga malalakas na babae. Ngayon, kung mas malakas ay yung asawa mo at hindi mo na talaga matiis, kakayanin ka niyan dahil mas malakas siya sa iyo. Di ba, relate mo na lang, tapos na. Ngayon, tingnan natin kung sinusunod ng gobyerno natin itong sinasabi na international law, pagkalahatan na batas ito, or constitutional law, yung batas ng ating saligang batas or constitution. On the one hand, international law on women's rights is found in a growing number of treaties among states. The most basic of these treaties, to which the Philippines is a party, is known as the Convention on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women. Ang acronym nito, or ang mga initials nito ay CEDAW. Convention on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women, or for short, CEDAW. It provides that all states parties shall eliminate discrimination against women in the political and public life of the country. International law gives to women on equal terms with men certain specific rights. Meron tayong mga karapatan sa ilalim itong mga batas na ito. Karapatan ang ibig sabihin, pwede ka pumunta sa hukuman kung inaalis o tinatanggal o lalagyan ng limitasyon ang karapatan mo, including the right to hold public office and perform all public functions at all levels of government. Karapatan ng babae yan. On the other hand, Philippine constitutional law provides the state policy that, and I quote, "The state recognizes the role of women in nation building and shall ensure the fundamental equality before the law of women and men." Kaya, kung sa international law, ang tawag dito, gender equality. Kung sa ating constitutional law, ang tawag dito ay fundamental equality. Pero wala talagang kaibahan ang lalaki at ang babae. In fact, mas magaling ang babae ng sa lalaki. Bakit? Hindi ba, nung ginawa ng Diyos ang mga tao sa planeta natin, para gumawa siya ng lalaki, pumulot siya ng putik. Kaya ang lalaki nanggaling sa putik. Ngayon, ang Panginoon, para gumawa siya ng babae, kinuha niya ang tadyang ng lalaki. Kaya ang babae nanggaling sa human material, whereas men come from mud. Yan ang tatawag na theology. Ngayon, kung talagang ang sabi ng Iglesia Katolika, hindi pwede yung babaeng pari, lalaki lang pwede. Bakit? Kung talagang sa tingin nila mababa ang mga babae, bakit sila napapalda pag nagmisa? Itigil ko na nga yun. Both under international law and under constitutional law, women should be treated with equal protection under the law, exactly in the same way as men. Pare-pareho lang. In our Constitution, this provision is called the Equal Protection Clause. Equal Protection Clause. Kaya pag nagkagalit kayong mag-asawa, tumaas ng boses ng lalaki, tapos nagpuporma na, nasasaktan ka, sabihin mo, oops, Equal Protection Clause. The United Nations has declared certain Millennium Development Goals. One of the goals is to promote gender equality and to empower women. But according to the National Statistical Coordination Board, in the last 2010 elections, only 21.4% of those elected were women. Kung talagang pantay-pantay tayo, di dapat pag eleksyon, pag halalan, kalahating nanalo, sure, dapat lalaki at kalahati dapat babae, hindi ba? O, hindi ganun ang resulta, 20% lang tayo eh. Bakit silang nasa gobyerno? Nang sobra, nakaskew ang ating proportion. If the goal is that 50% of public officials should be women, we will be unable to achieve the goals by the deadline, which is 2015. May deadline itong mga sinatawag na Millennium Development Goals ng United Nations, 2015. 2013 na ngayon. Kaya hindi natin maaabot yung deadline na yun. Dahil masyadong kukunti mga babae kumpara sa mga lalaki sa ating gobyerno. In numerical terms alone, there is still a wide gender gap between the sexes. Numerically, half of our high government officials should be women and half should be men. And yet the division between the sexes is highly disproportionate in favor of men. There have been 15 Philippine presidents, of which only 2 have been women. Sa 15 na presidente, 2 lang ang babae, lahat lalaki. Therefore, in order to correct the numerical mistake of the past, the logic of gender equality dictates that you should elect 6 more women as Philippine presidents. Ayan sila nakaupo, oh. Yung mga entrepreneur icon, si Senator Benitez, si Mrs. Socorro Ramos, si Mrs. Esther Vibal. Honored female guests, are you willing to run for president of the Philippines for the sake of our country? And for the sake of gender equality, or itong ating mga honorees, sana nga ba si Kumadre Cynthia? Kumadre Cynthia Villar, where are you? You're not here. Ah, she's coming. Oh, pag nahalal yan na senador, dapat tumakbong presidente yan. Para may babae naman. Tuloy-tuloy yon. Huwag mo silang bigyan ng pagkakataon dahil mga oportunista itong mga lalaki eh. In the Philippine Senate, in the outgoing 15th Congress, of 24 senators, only 3 of us are women. Di disproportionate, 24 ang senador, 3 lang kaming babae. Therefore, in the coming May elections, we should vote for at least 6 qualified female candidates so that eventually we should have 12 male and 12 female senators at the same time. Dapat hati-hati.
Wednesday.
The Civil Service Commission has issued a memorandum circular setting a target. Sino itong dumating? Cynthia Villar, you're late. Ginagawa ko yan kasi kumadre ko yan eh. Cynthia Villar, you're going to be president in 2016, I'm telling you. At lahat ng co-awardees mo, cabinet mo. The Civil Service Commission has issued a memorandum circular setting a target of 50-50 representation of women and men in executive positions. Kautusan na yan ng Civil Service Commission. And yet, in 2011, the Civil Service Commission reached the following conclusion, and I quote, "In the recent years, the trend was that women occupy only less than 1/3 of third-level positions in government. More than 1/3 in government-owned and controlled corporations, less than 20% in local government units, and more than 1/3 in the judiciary. Overall, the proportionate share is 1:2 in favor of men holding top positions in the government." Kaya kasalanan lahat ng mga kalalakihan, itong ating bansa at itong ating gobyerno. Sila napapatakbo eh. Hanggang ngayon, corrupt pa rin. Saan yung tingin nyo nanggagaling corruption? Yan, isa opisyal sa gobyerno. Oh, I'm going to have a discursus again. Meaning to say, I will step out of my topic. Ang dami-dami nating Katoliko at Kristiyano dito sa bansa na ito. We have 80% Christians, and yet the Philippines is one of the most corrupt countries in the world. Paano mo reconcile yan? Ibig sabihin lang na hindi sila tapat sa kanilang relihiyon. Kaya pag nakikita ka ng politiko na nakadikit ang kamay niya at nagpapungay ng mata, artista yan. Limpak-limpak na perang nanakaw niya eh. Pagkatapos nagko-communion pa. The conclusion is inevitable that the political participation of the women in the Philippines is limited. This limitation is caused by the following factors. 1. The government and the political parties themselves have failed to provide information to women about candidates, party political platforms, and voting procedures. Often in the rural areas, women fail to exercise the right to vote because of their illiteracy, their lack of knowledge and understanding of the political systems, or of the impact that political initiatives and policies will have upon their lives. Because of their lack of knowledge, women sometimes fail to register to vote. Number 2, women, unlike men, have two sets of responsibilities, one in the home and one at the workplace. Dalawa kasi obligasyon ng babae, hindi kamukha ng lalaki. Ang lalaki basta makapaghanap buhay sa labas, akala niya tapos ang trabaho niya. Ang babae hindi. Pag naghanap buhay siya, pag uwi niya, kailangan patakbuhin pa niya ang household niya. Thus, women do not have enough time to follow electoral campaigns. Number 3, a lack of support for female candidates by the electorate. In addition to these factors that discriminate against women, the political parties themselves have failed to provide an equality of balance between men and women in the organization of the party. In many of these parties, women are not granted equal participation in party activities. Bakit ang mga presidente ng mga political parties, puro mga lalaki, hindi babae? Ang matataas nila opisyal, puro mga lalaki. In practice, women should have an equal opportunity to serve as party officials and to be nominated as candidates for election. This can be done by providing information as well as financial and other resources. To close the gender gap, I humbly propose that our government should impose quotas, or temporary special measures to increase women's political participation by the following methods. 1. Recruiting, financially assisting, and training women candidates. 2. Amending electoral procedures. 3. Developing campaigns directed at equal participation. 4. Setting numerical goals and quotas and targeting women for appointment to public positions. Ang ibig kong sabihin ng quota system ay ganito. Dapat sa batas nakalagay dyan na kung 24 ang senador, 50% or 40, or at the very least, 30% should be women. May quota ang mga babae. Sa House of Representatives, ganun din. Sa Cabinet, ganun din. Sa mga constitutional commissions, ganun din. May quota reservado para sa mga babae. In order to impose balance on an imbalanced state policy that has taken place for decades. Sa Amerika, ang tawag dito sa quota system na ito ay affirmative action. This kind of quota system for women has already been implemented successfully in countries such as South Africa, India, Finland, Argentina, and France. Nasubukan na ito ang quota system. In the same manner, we should impose laws to accelerate women's equal participation in political life. We should ensure that the representation of women reflects the full diversity of the population, particularly indigenous women and Muslim women. My second topic, female entrepreneurs. Unemployed women and poverty. According to the SWS survey, the incidence of joblessness for women is much higher than that for men. Hindi pa pantay lang tayo, sinabi ko na, yun ang prinsipyo sa batas, dapat pantay lalaki at babae. Pero sa statistika, nakikita natin na talagang ayaw ng mga kumpanya na ibigay ang trabahong bakante sa babae. Gusto nila lalaki palagi. As of August 2012, itong Agosto lang, where there were 29.4% jobless Filipinos, 42.5% were women, and only 19.3% were men. Kaya halos doble ang jobless na babae kumpara sa jobless na lalaki. On top of this, according to the Union of Catholic Asian News Philippines, there were 13.9 million Filipinos who are single parents, and with only a few exceptions, the mother is the one taking responsibility of raising the child. Nagtira ang lalaki at babae, hindi sila pinasal. Nabuntis tong babae, iniwanan ng lalaki. Palaging istorya, ang drama dyan ay, ang lalaki, basta sukat siyang aalis, wala siyang paki. At ang anak niya, iwan niya sa babae, bahala ng babae. Yun palagi ang drama sa ating lipunan. There is overwhelming evidence that women, particularly single mothers, suffer the most in terms of unemployment and poverty. While providing women with more jobs will certainly be a big help, there are other solutions to alleviate the plight of women, to afford them a brighter future, and that is through the entrepreneurship option. Kailangan tulungan natin ang mga kababaihan dahil wala silang trabaho. Gagawin ni Joey Concepcion, etc., ang Go Negosyo or ang project nila na hanggat sa maaari, ang babae na mahirap na walang pangkapital ay nabibigyan pa rin ng hanap buhay. The entrepreneurship option. Ibig sabihin, magiging entrepreneur ka. Magandang pakinggan yan, entrepreneur. Hindi ka mukha ng salita na politician. Pag narinig mo politician, parang nakarinig ka tungkol kay Satanas. O wag niyo akong umpisahan dyan. All I can say after working the Senate is, my conclusion is that the Senate is the land of the living dead. Lakad-lakad sila din ng Amerikana, ay patay na pala. Pag nag-English pa, ay, hindi matay ako. Nagbabasa na lang, hindi pa mabasa ng gusto. Sana tumatakbo ako para mainsulto ko sila. Pero dito, binabantayan ako ni Joey Concepcion, kaya mapatino nga ako. To lift Filipino women out of poverty, we must first analyze their typical profile. Most of them would be out of a job, walang trabaho, without a completed college education, hindi nakatapos ng college, no capital to start a business, walang pangkapital na pera, and most would have the responsibility of taking care of young children, tagalaga pa ng maliliit na bata. Yun ang mga disadvantage ng ating mahirap na mga kababaihan. With such daunting odds, is the dream of a better life for underprivileged Filipino women an impossible dream? Perhaps, in spite of such odds, there is still hope that something can be done with the right policies in place and the availability of some financial aid. As budding entrepreneurs, our poor Filipino women would face a number of limitations, namely, lack of training and skills. Wala silang karanasan tungkol sa paggawa ng hanap buhay. Little or no capital available, and the need to stay at home to take care of their young children or be able to avail of the services of a daycare center that they can trust and that they can afford. What then would be typical businesses that they can enter with such limitations? First is, we should consider that the primary capital that our Filipinos have is their time and their talent. Meron kayong puhunan hindi lang pera. Meron kayong panahon at talentado kayo. With that, women can do subcontract work where the raw materials and other equipment, para na kung saan papa nito, hindi ko na makayanan. By the way, again another excursus. I don't think that the Pope is no longer physically capable of carrying out his duties. I'm a Catholic, although I'm not always a good Catholic. I have a tendency to engage my God in debate. And I know that I shouldn't do that. But anyway, I don't think that the Pope is physically incapable. Dahil meron tayong Santo Papa nagka-Parkinson's disease na siya, pero mahusay pang utak, kaya sige pa rin siyang Santo Papa. Ito nag-resign, sa tingin ko, dahil kaya pa ng katawan sana, dahil in the spirit of supreme self-sacrifice, popes will do everything that they can to ensure that the body still functions. Kung hindi, may sakit siguro siya na mental. Hindi ba kung tumatanda tayo, kung minsan marami tayong senior citizen moments, hindi na tayo nakakaalaala kung minsan matagal tayo baka bago tayo maintindihan yung mga senyas o simbolo na tumatanda na tayo. So if I sometimes look at my manuscript, it means that I have forgotten that train of thought that I am chasing, and you will all know that that is a sign of old age. Anyway, women should be provided with equipment, and all they need to do is put it all together to come up with a finished or semi-finished product. This seems like an excellent proposition where they can work from their homes and not need to have any capital expenditure to earn a living. Unfortunately, this is no longer the case because under current labor regulations, this is classified as labor-only contracting, which is no longer allowed. The Department of Labor and Employment considers this as an employer-employee relationship, with the worker considered as an employee of the company giving the business. The result is that companies refrain from going to these kinds of arrangements, thus depriving those in need with the opportunity to make an honest living. Hindi ba? Maganda na sana yung sistema na yon. Kung may malaking kumpanya at masyadong metikuloso ang trabaho, mananahi,